Mike, just one from me, and that would be something Nugent Hopkins said a couple of weeks ago. He said, for the most part this year, he feels like even in the losing efforts, the club's play doesn't seem to drop. And I'm wondering whether you've seen any evidence of that as the team's goaltender.
Yeah, for sure. I think, as the season's gone on here, I think even in the losing efforts, we've been in games, we've been in 1-goal games that, a bounce here or there, a mistake out of the game could go either way. So I think that's what you want to be as a team. You want to be a team that on any given night can, have a chance to win games and get points, and we'll continue to improve on that. But it's something that is obviously prevalent this year, from past years here.
Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
Okay, so as a guy who's played the puck as frequently and often as you in your life, you've no doubt made some mistakes and it's been in your net. That's just part of the deal. We all get that. And the ratio, certainly this year, has been outstanding for you. How do you deal with when it does go wrong? Is there, what do you do when it hops over your stick like it did the other night and ends up in your net? What happens with Mike Smith?
Move on. It's over and done with. There's nothing you can do about it. So it's short memory and get back out there and play it again. And mistakes are going to happen. Obviously, as a goalie, you don't want it to happen, very frequently. But like you mentioned, as much as I'm out there playing it, from time to time, it's going to take a weird bounce like it did the other night and not come back out and kind of end up in the back of the net, which, you never like to give up those goals. But you just move on and get back out there and continue to do what's I feel like has given our team, some relief back there.
I think one of the weird dynamics is when you go to play the puck, your defensemen spread out and move away from you. That's how it works, right? So you got passing targets. But when it goes wrong, now they're nowhere close to you. You're all alone. It's doubly dangerous that way. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right, Spec? It goes in an area I can't play it in, so you either take a penalty or you try and do what you can to get back in the net, and unfortunately it didn't go our way the other night, but it's not going to stop me from doing what I do. I mean, I think it's a big part of my game. It's something that I feel like every defenseman that I've played with enjoys, and I'm not going to stop because one goal went in. So we'll leave it at that.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
Mike, you played in Calgary. Do you find that Calgary plays you any differently as a goaltender in terms of the forecheck than other teams because they've seen you on their own team?
I don't think so. I mean, they've had a coaching change. Obviously, some structures change is different, but I think I've been around long enough now. I think most teams know kind of what to expect back there, but I'm just trying to get back, play it as quickly as possible, and just kind of relieve the pressure that they're throwing at us. So I don't know if it might give away a couple of my secrets, but I think it's every year is different, every game's kind of different. So you just kind of go about it the same way every game, and whatever happens in the past is over, and you kind of move on.
And also, the Oilers are the only team in the league that hasn't had a game, a loser point or whatever. That must have a bearing because the Oilers either win the game or lose the game and nobody else is getting any points. Is that ever talked about? You guys just win the games, and if you go to overtime, you won the game and won in overtime as well. So nobody else is getting any points when you play the team.
Yeah, I mean, it's especially with this year, obviously with the division being so close and playing teams so many times. Obviously, those games when you can steal 2 points in regulation is huge, and it goes the other way also. We've lost some games that we feel like we probably should have had points in too. So I think it goes hand in hand. But obviously, winning in regulation is something that you can separate yourself from the pack a little bit. And I don't think it's something we've talked about, but it's something that you just kind of have in the back of your mind.
Ryan Rashog, TSN.
Mike, I wonder if getting back in right away, coming off of a loss is like, as a goalie, if you kind of appreciate that. I mean, you got two guys that the coach wants to keep going, but he goes back to you, and not suggesting that it was your fault in any way the other night. the idea that you get the opportunity to get right in right away and bounce back, if that is meaningful to you.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm taking it one game at a time. And is it nice to kind of get in a little bit of a rhythm? Yes, but there's so many games, there's so many games in a short period of time. Both guys are going to play games. So I think it's, we're back to back now tomorrow. Not that I'm looking that far ahead, but I'm just really focused this year on taking it one game at a time and let the play speak for itself, and, let the coaches do their job and mine. And whatever happens and you get the start, you want to, play your best. And I feel like that's kind of what's made me successful this year and helped the team kind of get points, and just really, really focused on doing my job and letting everything else take care of itself.
The Battle of Alberta, the last couple of years here, it's had a fair amount of, spice to it. You add a Sutter to the mix, that's probably going to increase that quotient a bit. They're getting a nice little bounce here with their new head coach. What are your thoughts on kind of the game that a coach like Sutter will bring out in this group, and what your group needs to be prepared for to match that?
Yeah, I mean, the personnel hasn't changed over there as far as players, so I think they're the same team as far as players. I think they're just playing with a little more structure, probably a little more simple, a little more direct, and a little more north south. So I think, saying that, we understand where we're at, we understand the position that they're in, and with the new coach obviously coming in, you're going to get a little bit of a boost. So I think we feel like we played an okay game last game, and we were still right there in the end. And I feel like if we bring our A game tonight, then hopefully it'll be a different story.